Crap! I gotta make a video! Oh, cut. Crap! Forgot to make... Wait, can you... Crap! I gotta make a video! Wait, no. I don't like that. Can we cut that again? Good morning, and welcome back to the Actor's Journal, Chapter 6. Today we're going to talk about the difference between film acting and theater acting. So after filming my last monologue, I felt really unsatisfied with my acting in the film, and I wanted to ask myself, why have I been feeling that way with the past couple short films that I've been doing? I've been feeling really unsatisfied with how I've been able to express myself through my acting. So what I did was I wrote down all the differences between theater acting and film acting that I could come up with, because I really wanted to find a better approach at film acting to where I felt more confident in my acting in front of the camera. The first thing that I noticed that was different between the two was film has a really start-stop nature to it, where you can cut stuff, you can stop the scene if something's going wrong, and you can just restart it and do it over again to make it as perfect as you want it to be. Theater, on the other hand, is not so similar in that sense, in that it's very continuous, and the show must go on, and you have to do anything that you possibly can do in that show to make sure that everything somehow stays along the storyline, and you don't have room for error like you do in film. So you have to improvise and be creative if stuff goes wrong, you forget a line. Okay, I gotta improvise, come up with something different. In theater, you sort of have a continuous flow, and you just want to keep the show going, deal with the conflicts in each scene, and whereas when I was working on my monologues for filming, I would sort of get tripped up whenever I would have to cut or mess up. I would always get out of the zone of my acting, and it's difficult for me right now, at least, to get into that zone right away. That's one thing that I really gotta look at differently and approach when I'm filming my next monologues, is how can I go into this film and come out of the zone, then get right back into the acting zone as quick as possible. So I just got out of work lifeguarding, and it is so hot outside. The other thing that I realized about film versus theater acting is that in film there's less dialogue, and more of the acting is also mixed with the camera work, so you can get a lot of different emotions expressed to the audience through how the camera is portraying the actor. Whereas theater, you only get one angle and one way to visualize the scene that's going on. With theater, it's more dialogue based in its acting. The other difference between theater and film is the energy. Now, when I'm behind the camera and I'm filming a scene, usually a monologue scene, I usually don't feel the same energy that I do when I'm on stage, because I'm missing that audience and I'm missing all the cheers and all the boos and all the crying. Well, that's a little dramatic, but when you're on stage, you really feed off of that energy, and it helps you to get to that emotional place, or it helps you to laser focus in on how you want to act and how you want to react to different situations. Whereas when you're in film, I've only been in a couple sets of some of my friends in the BFA program, some of their films, and I've played extras in their films, and there's a lot of dead air and a lot of quietness, trying to wait for the next scene to go, cutting, starting the scene over again. So there's a lot of dead space, and there's not as much energy that I can feed off of to help my acting when I'm in front of the camera. And I think that could be one of the factors that makes me feel like I can't fully express myself when I'm in front of the camera, or that I can't reach a place of enough focus, is I don't have the energy from the crowd or the audience. So, to conclude, the three things that I really discovered while trying to figure out why my acting just didn't feel expressive of myself when I was doing the monologues was that, one, film is different from theater in that it's very start-stop, and there's a lot of room to make errors, and you can cut out and stop the scene and then start it again. Whereas when you're on stage, you don't have that luxury to start or stop whenever you want, and it's just a continuous flow. And I really think that flow is what helps me when I'm acting on stage versus on camera. The second thing is that movies focus not just on the dialogue, but also on the camera angle of the film that's going on, and how you work that camera with the actors can also portray a message to the audience and express differently to the audience what the actor might want to portray or what the director might want to portray. Whereas in theater, you really only have one perspective of the scene that's going on. The third thing that I noticed was the energy. When I'm in front of the camera, you don't really get the same energy from having like an audience when you're in theater, and you don't have that energy from the audience to feed off of and to help you carry on through the performance. Whereas when you're in front of the camera, it's just you and the camera, and if you're on the set, you have the other actors as well. But for my sake, in front of the camera just doing monologues, it's a lot different, and it takes a lot out of my acting and my flow and energy when I'm just alone and I don't really have a whole lot to go off of. So I think one thing that I could do to improve is maybe use more props in the monologues that I go through, to fuel that energy and to fuel the emotional energy to carry through and portray on camera. So to conclude, I think that I can express myself better in theater productions because I've already had that experience of how to approach a role for a stage production as opposed to a film production where I don't really have as much experience in that area. And I think the more I work on cinematography and acting in front of a camera, the better I'll be able to prepare for a part that's in film as opposed to theater, and I can sort of use both of my approaches combined, to create a better character that expresses my humanity best. So as always, I hope that you guys like this video. I hope that you took something away from it, maybe, and please remember to like and subscribe and comment. Please comment. I love all and any feedback, just to help make my videos better for you guys, so that you enjoy them even more. And I will see you in the next one.